Hey everyone, this is your stimulus check update, second stimulus check update, and stimulus package update for Saturday, August 8th. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows met once again with Nancy Pelosi in her office yesterday, along with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Millions of Americans are wanting to know if they actually were able to reach a deal yesterday and get some things finally agreed to. Unfortunately, there was no deal, and I can't even believe it. After the meeting, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said, "Unfortunately, we did not make any progress today. Agreeing on a final number for the next stimulus package was something that many people were hoping would happen yesterday so that they could then iron out the rest of the details and have a bill ready to go to be voted on starting next week. Unfortunately, that did not happen." Nancy Pelosi said that she would tell the White House to come back to the table ready for negotiations as soon as they're ready to increase the amount that they want to spend in the next stimulus package. The Senate has said that they would accept a deal of about $1 trillion, while the House only wants to accept a deal that's at least $2 trillion. And in fact, after yesterday's meeting, it feels like they may be further apart than they have been even recently. Unfortunately, there remain fundamental differences on what both sides think should be part of the next stimulus package. On Thursday, President Trump threatened to use executive action when he tweeted, "I've notified my staff to continue working out on an executive order with respect to payroll tax cuts, eviction protections, unemployment extensions, and student loan repayment options." Following the failed talks yesterday, President Trump held a press conference Friday evening to go over some of the details of what he wants to do by executive authority. And he said he would act under his authority as president to get Americans the relief they need if Congress and his administration are unable to reach a deal on the next stimulus package. President Trump's executive actions would include, number one, extending the unemployment benefits that expired the end of July through the end of the year. Number two, renew the eviction moratorium that also expired at the end of July. Number three, indefinitely suspend student loan payments and the interest associated with those payments. And lastly, suspend the payroll taxes until the end of December. The biggest problem with all of this is Congress controls spending, and President Trump's powers are actually limited on any of these. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said regarding President Trump using his executive authority, "It will take us a bit of time to finalize the executive orders and process them." Regarding resuming discussions with the Senate and the White House, Nancy Pelosi told reporters yesterday, "I've told them, come back when you're ready to give us a higher number." Mnuchin said that he and Mark Meadows will be back anytime to listen to new proposals. So both sides are saying, hey, we're ready to talk, we can talk, but neither side really wants to compromise at this point, and there are so many things that they're still so far apart on. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer have said that they do not want to accept any deal that's less than $2 trillion, while the Senate has said that they don't want anything more than $1 trillion. So they are still $1 trillion apart on this deal. One thing they both agree on is $1,200 stimulus checks to individuals. Those $1,200 would go out to individuals that receive the first stimulus check, including those on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits, as well as anyone else that received the first stimulus check, and it would also include those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes. Unfortunately, the stimulus check is contingent on them reaching a stimulus deal, and at this point, that's the problem. I still don't understand why they can't just create a lean stimulus bill that includes the three critical components that they already basically agree on. And that's a $1,200 stimulus check, extending the unemployment benefits, and renewing the eviction moratorium. Those three things are what they already agree on, and those three things are what would make the most difference for most people in America. However, there remain other issues that are holding up negotiations that are completely unrelated to those three. As reported by CNBC, in a letter sent to her colleagues, Nancy Pelosi outlined the differences between her ideas and Chuck Schumer's ideas and the Senate and the White House's ideas on what needs to be in the next stimulus package, and these are the biggest differences that are holding up the next deal. Number one, She said the House wants to put $75 billion into COVID-19 testing and treatment, while the Senate bill includes only $15 billion. Her letter said that the Senate offered $150 billion for states and local governments, but this is far below the $915 billion that the House asked for in the HEROES Act. The Speaker said that the sides are a couple $100 billion apart on the amount of funding to help schools reopen. The Senate included $105 billion as part of their stimulus plan. Pelosi called for more money for food, water, and utilities than the Senate proposal did. She also said that she wanted to secure more concessions on ensuring a complete census and safe voting during the pandemic. Those 5 items seem to be unrelated to the 3 critical components that I think should be part of the next stimulus bill, but yet those are the 5 items that are holding up the next plan. I can't believe where we are right now, and I can't believe that the August 7th deadline has passed and we still don't have any semblance of a deal at this point. I'll continue to watch over the weekend and see if anything changes regarding the deals, or if there's any news that one side is coming closer to the other, or if they're really ready to come to a compromise. But at this point, the deal's kind of on hold. I do want to spend a little bit of time on the executive actions that President Trump is wanting to do. Regarding the payroll tax cut, President Trump said yesterday, we're going to have the payroll tax cut go to the end of the year, and it'll be retroactive to July 1st. So we're going to go back to July 1st, and it will go to the end of the payroll tax. At the end of the year, it may be extended. President Obama signed a bill back in 2012 that also included a payroll tax cut like this one. However, he did so with Congress's approval. There is no indication on how President Trump could do a payroll tax cut just through executive action or through executive order. Regarding extending the unemployment benefits, President Trump said, we're going to enhance unemployment benefits through the end of the year. Once again, we aren't sure if it's possible for him to even do this without Congress's approval. Regarding student loans, President Trump would defer student loan payments and forgive interest payments until further notice. This is something that was originally talked about a few months ago, but it hasn't been brought up recently until President Trump talked about it just a couple days ago. This wouldn't forgive student loan debt altogether, but it would basically say you could stop paying on your student loans without any sort of penalty and without any interest accruing. The last thing President Trump wants to do is extend the eviction moratorium that expired the end of July. That eviction moratorium would last at least through the end of the year. Once again, it's unclear if he even has the power to do so, or if they can figure out a way to do so. But President Trump and his legal team said that they are working on a solution to actually have these executive orders work, and I will keep you up to date as any new developments happen on these executive orders. I will also keep you up to date on all the latest news from the stimulus package negotiations between the House and the Senate and the White House, but at this point they aren't close to a deal. The House and the Senate are now technically both on recess, but both have also said that they will come back to Washington if a deal is reached, so that they can then vote on it and then President Trump could sign it into law. But both sides have failed to compromise enough for the other side at this point, and that has been the problem thus far. If you have not received your first stimulus check yet, you need to continue calling the IRS. While the IRS reps, I don't believe, are available over the weekend, as soon as Monday rolls around, and you haven't received your first stimulus check, try calling the IRS again at the stimulus hotline, 1-800-919-9835. I know that there's still a bunch of you that haven't received your first stimulus check. Call the IRS. Keep calling them and calling them and calling them until you actually get a specific answer regarding your first stimulus check. There are representatives that can help. Keep calling and calling until you get an answer. Thank you once again for watching. I'm sorry I don't have better news for you guys to share today, but I didn't want to get your hopes up that a deal was going to get done right away, because I feel like I've done that before because of all the news that I've been seeing coming out. However, I do think they will eventually get a deal done. The question now I have is when, because we've now passed that deadline that I kind of thought was going to be the day that they would have a deal done. We passed that deadline. They're now officially or technically on recess, and no deal has been done, but I'm hopeful that on Monday they'll resume talks and maybe the sides will realize if we don't get this done, we're going to be in trouble with the American people. I'm hopeful that that's going to happen, but I'm not going to hold my breath once again. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I'm sorry that Congress just can't come to an agreement and just get some help for all of you out there. You will get through this. Better days are ahead. Stay positive, stay safe, and I will talk to you again soon.